breaking news from the baseball world, and your boy was a part of it. Sean Murphy, the prized catcher, formerly the Oakland Athletics, goes to Atlanta in a three-way trade. The Brewers, they get young William Contreras, who, all-star this year, catcher DH. Interested to see what the Crew do with that. They get young, talented ball player. Braves get their catcher. Oakland gets a pile of prospects. None of them, none of them are names. None of them are the top 100 guys that you really know about. So I guess...
Is Mueller... He's got to be a top 100 guy, right? He's the Braves' number one at least.
So he's... Okay, so yeah, he's listed as 56 in this year. So, okay, so they get the two guys that jumped out, and Passan reiterated this. Mueller, 25-year-old, huge lefty, 6'7". He's pitched in some big games for the Braves. I don't know. That feels like an Oakland guy that he'll go there. Pitching in Oakland, you generally get a pretty good ERA out of the deal, and they'll flip him in a year or two for more prospects because that's just what they do. And Passan highlighted another, because of the, I should have excused Mueller. Of the other prospects, there's one guy that Passan highlighted in a follow-up tweet. Crazy strikeout numbers, kind of all the potential in the world if he figures out the walk stuff. Nobody really cares about that. I think we start with the Braves, who they get Sean Murphy to the middle of that lineup. Acuna Jr., Harris, Riley, Matt Olson, date my daughter. How about your A's? Olson and Murphy. Travis d'Arnaud is there. He'll probably catch a little bit, DH a little bit. Ozzie Albies, who missed a bunch of last season. He'll be back. Marcelo Zuna is still on that team. And Vaughn Grisham, the 21-year-old, he'll be 22 soon. He's currently listed as your starting shortstop. They still have Eddie Rosario on that team. Arcia's floating around. Sam Hilliard in a trade from the Rockies. Don't forget that. Fried, Wright, Morton, Strider, Soroka slotted into that fifth spot. Remember when he was their ace? So for the Braves, for me, it's what's next. And by the way, you guys like when we peel back the curtain. Got some birdies that it was a three-way trade going down. And I was like, I can relay that to the people, I think. And the next step of that was needed a team or a player. Got the teams, so relayed that to the people. And then the first name that came out, I didn't know. Sean Murphy hit the wires. Everyone kind of assumed when the Athletics were in there. There's been one guy there trying to trade. And then that's when I got confirmation, locked, that William Contreras was in it. And then the rest of it came out. So, again, thank you guys for letting me be the people's source. And, yeah, you got to confirm that you've got good knowledge on it. Bet your friendship on it. Because if it goes wrong, we're no longer friends. But it worked out. So, for the Braves, they get the catcher. For me, it's what are they going to do next? Because you have outfield options between, if you just Ozuna and Rosario, if that's a platoon, you can figure that out. I think people thought they were in on Benintendi. They could use another lefty contact defense guy. It feels like vibe check. I think Benintendi at this point would prefer an Atlanta to like New York City. I don't think he really needs or wants the big spotlight anymore. I think like any competitor, he wants to win and play. But he's also like, Ohio, went to Arkansas. We'll see where he ends up. You got to wonder, could Dansby or Correa end up in the mix for the Braves? Like, they trade in a lot of their chips. Knowing Atlanta, maybe Vaughn Grisham is just like the best ever. That's kind of just what this team has done the past couple years. Michael Harris, too, came out of nowhere. He's like one of the best center fielders in baseball at age 21. I don't think they're done. This offseason, this team is currently without Dansby Swanson, who was their shortstop in the lineup, doing a lot. Kenley Jansen, who was closing out games for this team. So they make their first big move. They get Sean Murphy. Does he have an argument for best catcher? Real Muto.
I think Real Muto still
beat.
clears.
Murphy, Adley Rushman.
Adley might be leapfrogging.
Yeah. Either way, a position where there's not a lot of dudes. Braves attack that, and they can check the box there. And by the way, d'Arnaud, he can still put together a ball game for them. I'm interested to see what's the next move, because I think there's a next move. I wonder if it's one of the big free agents. If it's not, I mean, the Braves have the ability to say, we kind of know what we're doing. Won the division again, snuck it from the Mets at the buzzer there. Let's go to Milwaukee, because honestly, Oakland, I mean, they're just trying to sell the team.
Straightforward what's happening.
It's tough, man. Imagine being an Oakland A's fan. Just go through this kind of year in, year out. The Brewers get William Contreras, 25 years old, made the All-Star team, can catch. I wonder if they're going to make him their everyday catcher. They have Caratini there, too. If you need to DH him, you can. I mean, kind of a young cornerstone piece for Milwaukee. And it doesn't... I mean, Sean Murphy and William Contreras are the two best players in this trade. The Brewers get better. And by the way, those sneaky Brewers, in the middle of their lineup, they had a William Contreras. The other trade they made, Jesse Winker, who... last year on his Baseball Reference is a clear outlier, and whether that's leaving the NL Central, whether tough hitters park, whether injury, whether it just didn't click, William Contreras and Jesse Winker to the middle of that lineup, that's some Brewer shit, man. That's some Brewer shit. I mean, they've been nice to us along the way. Obviously, the famous sausage race video. They operate differently, and they're operating very Brewers-like. I mean, the Cubs haven't done enough with Tyone and Cody Bellinger to say that they've kind of entered this realm. If they get one of the shortstops, maybe we can start talking about them like that, and they're supposed to be in on them. But yeah, very Brew Crew offseason to add a nice righty and lefty, two guys that can have really nice years to the middle of the lineup without hemorrhaging much. It's very Milwaukee Brewers of them. And yeah, interested to see. They picked up a couple arms. Justin Yeager and Joel Payamps. Joel Payamps, every time the Yankees would play the Kansas City Royals, that poor soul would have to get up and get warm in like the second inning of the game and either come in, or the starting pitcher figured it out and Joel Payamps would come in the fifth inning, his second time getting warm. Joel Payamps, great baseball name. Good name to say 10 years from now. And B, feels like one of those Brewers guys that they'll tap into something, make him throw that good pitch, and we'll be talking about on Talking Baseball at one point, like, oh, Joel Payamps is actually having an incredible year. He's got a 1.4 ERA in July. The two things that are out there and need to be checked off again: the Athletics, brutal, as tough as it gets, kind of got nothing for you. More talent out the door the same way it came in. Braves fans are not over the moon. Braves fans feel like they gave up a lot when details were leaking out on this trade from different crevices of the internet, including my own. Braves fans initially were hoping for Sean Murphy and Willie Adames. Now, it's Braves fans and it's the internet, so those are the two things you're looking for. But I don't know. The Braves internet feels like they gave up a lot, which prospects we always get too tight with. I mean, I was laughing a couple minutes ago, and I'm not sure when it's going to come out. I think around Christmas time. We were talking to Nick Swisher. Spoiler for a Talking Yanks episode. Pretty electric. Swish is his own speed.
If you're familiar with Swish, you know what you're getting.
You're in for a world of it
in a good way.
Awesome. He does a lot of work with the Yankees prospects, and I was like, give us some of the guys. He had a list ready, which is funny, And it was also ironic, our guy Joe's McFly, he was in his feels last night talking about the Yankees not developing enough prospects. And Nick Swisher reeled off like 14 guys. And if 2 of them are really good MLB players, that defies the odds. But I was laughing that he named that many people. So going back to Braves fans and giving up prospect capital, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And William Contreras, him and Murphy, I think they can have similar offensive seasons, what Sean Murphy does defensively as an everyday catcher. People seem to think William Contreras can't do that. I'll trust the people on that one, although the Brewers taking a chance on it, and they've got a good organizational reputation themselves. I guess with how much I saw that, and maybe I'm getting polluted by Braves Twitter too much, my initial thought process was where I started with you guys, that this is the start of the Braves move. That the Braves, Alex Anthopoulos had, we want Sean Murphy, let's go get Sean Murphy. And now the next box, I don't know. Because we just looked at the free agent pool. It's 2 shortstops and Rendon.
Yeah.
Benintendi moves the needle.
Benintendi's that next tier.
Chris Bassett off the board.
Came off the board
to
today.
Toronto. That one kind of makes sense. But yeah, I mean, you really end up at a different level. Maybe a Jurickson Profar could end up in Atlanta, play left field, be versatile for them. That feels like kind of a winning Atlanta move.
Drury's out there. There's a lot of interesting pieces.
A lot of interesting pieces. I guess in my head, Dansby Swanson, man, so funny. Him and Correa have ended up in this weird area of are people going to go for it? Will the Braves, if the years thing ends up being weird with Correa again, and it's Twins or Braves, is that in play? I have no idea. Is Dansby coming back in play for them at all? It's weird that he's the guy they didn't lock up, right? The shortstop, good-looking cat, pretty good playoff success. I don't know. I don't know. If they roll out 22-year-old Vaughn Grisham to start the year, from what Atlanta's done, I'm going to believe in that.
Dude sure did hit this year.
Yeah, that's a guy you want in the lineup, so I get it. I guess I wonder if they've got a nuclear Correa or just even bringing back Dansby in them. They were supposed to be players for DeGrom. A lot of people believed in that. So they make their first chess move. It's what's next for Atlanta. They gave up some serious prospect capital. They get one of the best catchers in the game. That's always, the closer we've gotten to baseball, the more and more that always view that as a win. But it does make me wonder that if they have another free agent move, watch out for those sneaky Brewers. They're doing a little retool in front of our faces. Jesse Winker's best year and what can be William Contreras' best year, that's game-changing stuff. So good for the Brewers and the Oakland Athletics. Oh, I'm sorry. See you in Vegas. All right. Anything else, peeps? Anything we missed?
We're there.
All right. Thank you, guys. Another reaction because we were in the office. You guys, these ones seem to do well. And everything's been doing well. The subscribers are up and everything. So if you've been wondering why we've been YouTubeifying the show a little bit, it's because it works. So thank you, guys. Love you. Talk to you soon.